It's fall 2021, and we just went on our first flight in 3 years. The trip was a blast, but there already are enough stereotypical travel videos out there, so today we're gonna actually be focusing on how Natalia and I only packed one small backpack each for a very active trip, involving a lot of walking, hiking, biking, ferrying, busing, driving, and flying. Oh, I also had like a little fanny pack, but does that even count as a bag? Anyway, 2 small backpacks and a tiny fanny pack for 2 people over the course of 7 days of adventuring. So why not just bring a roller suitcase each and pack everything we could possibly need into them? What if we didn't have what we needed when we needed it? And what if we froze to death because we brought too little? What if we got wet? What if any number of things? Well, one of the main reasons in the back of my mind is that we're pretty frugal, and rock bottom flight tickets typically charge extra for additional bags. So that's a reason, but the main reason that we did this is actually for flexibility and ease of travel. So we're about to pack up and drive to Parkville, but I just want to emphasize how nice it is to only have 2 backpacks in total. It's not just for flying, it's for when you're actually at the destination, because this is all we have. So this is yours, thank you, and this just goes in my back. And we're ready to go. It's that easy. We love being able to pack minimally because if plans change, you don't have to leave behind 3/4 of your luggage and spend an hour deciding what you may or may not need, because you've already spent the time skimming down to the absolute bare essentials before you even left your front door. Oh, and it's really funny when everyone asks, do you have everything you need? Yeah, just the one bag. Wait, really? That's what happened at least 10 times or so throughout the entire trip. As for everything we brought in detail, I'll link my detailed blog post in the description below with absolutely everything we brought and why, but the majority of it was clothing. For once, I didn't bring any of my big camera gear, like the DSLR or any of its lenses or supporting equipment. Instead, we just used Natalia's new phone with its 3 lenses, and I shot everything I needed for this video in particular on a little GoPro 7. Really minimal, it was so freeing, it was great. So, how do you decide what to bring? You kiss. You keep it simple, stupid. You can easily get away with wearing 2 to 3 outfits throughout the week by just doing 1 wash in the middle of the week, or 2 if need be. While packing, we checked the weather in Victoria, Vancouver, and Parkville, which were where we were going, and found that the average temperature was going to be a lot colder than in southwestern Ontario, where we're from, at the time. So it was going to be around 11 degrees for the week. The actual weather conditions mattered too, seeing as rain is definitely a thing on Vancouver Island and on the mainland. Here's an example of some of our creative problem solving. Knowing that it was potentially going to be very cold and wet, we brought just 1 sweater and rain jacket. Wait, what? That's right. Here's the thing, we'd be visiting relatives, and who doesn't have any spare sweaters to go around? They're pretty bulky items to pack, and in the end, I only ended up needing 1 extra thermal layer, and Natalia didn't need anything at all. She had everything. These hills are killer! As for the rain gear, the rain shells that we had were a perfect exterior layer to keep the wet out and all the layers underneath dry. Actually, the biggest problem when hiking was making sure that we preemptively took off our inner layers so that we didn't soak everything from the inside out with our own sweat. As for rain pants, we borrowed some from my aunt and uncle in Parkville and then brought them in our backpacks when we visited Vancouver. But we never once ended up using them. Although, if it had been raining harder, we probably would have used them when we were using the Mobi bike shares. See, your thighs usually get the brunt of the wetness when you're biking in the rain. Where could we improve? Actually, I found that we didn't really use the tripod at all because we were so mobile and we were more into actually doing the activities than setting up spectacular photos and poses. Even so, we used the tripod twice over the course of 7 days, which honestly doesn't seem like enough usage for me to justify bringing it on the next trip. I don't know, it's a tough one. That and Natalia never actually wore her jeans or bathing suit. And unless jeans are being worn, they're actually a fairly bulky item to pack. As for the shampoos and conditioners, they never got used because the hotels and relatives supplied them for us. Both of us swapped out our socks every other day, so we technically only used 2 pairs, and then washing them in the tub or sink works pretty well. Same with underwear. But it's kind of handy to have a spare pair, so having maybe 3 or 4, just in case washing goes amiss. What was the toughest part? For me, it was convincing myself that I actually had everything that we brought. I mean, we packed so few things that I I've never packed this light. It was bonkers. So will we do it again? Yeah, or at least I'd like to take the learnings from this trip and put them into practice in the next one. So what did we learn? We confirmed that we don't need a lot to be happy, even when we're traveling. See, we travel to reconnect with people in our lives, meet entirely new people, put ourselves in uncomfortable situations, see wonderful places that we're so privileged to be able to see together, and soak in those moments together. None of that is helped by having more things with us. As long as we have just the basics, we can thoroughly enjoy ourselves. Even better than if we had to weigh ourselves down with all that stuff that we would have brought and never used. Now, we're obviously not suggesting that this is the only way of doing things. And this might not work for different seasons or events or places. But if you've gotten this far into the video, maybe you've gathered a few ideas or thoughts that you can take with you on your post-2021 trip instead of too many things. Don't take those. It's never really worth it. And with all of that said, thanks for watching. It was a fun video to put together, and I actually was able to just do this all on a GoPro and phone, which is part of the minimalist packing arrangement that I had. I was like, okay, I'm not gonna bring my DSLR, not gonna bring anything. And I didn't know how it was gonna work out, but it worked out, so woo! All right, thanks for watching, bye!